guys, today's tutorial is going to be this look right here. I still have my scrunchie on from this morning, don't judge me. But I am going to be doing a tutorial for you guys today on this Bobbi Brown palette. This is actually a Bobbi Brown palette that I kind of put together myself. It's just a collaboration of a few different colors that I think are great staple colors. I have more of a gray, taupey, pinkish smoky eye on today, and so I was really excited to show you guys this tutorial because it does use this shadow right here. It's called Rockstar. It's a metallic eyeshadow from Bobbi Brown, and I used it with a synthetic Chanel brush today to apply. And so I basically wanted to show you guys how to get a color that's very kind of flaky, glittery. This is a very flaky and glittery color, so it's easy to put that on and then get fallout all over your eyes. So I just wanted to show you a few tips and tricks on how to apply that kind of eye makeup without getting like all this fallout underneath. Some people do like to put their eye makeup on before doing their base. I just am not there yet. I really like to get my base makeup on first so that way I can see kind of what my face is going to look like today and then do my eye makeup around it. But that can actually be kind of dangerous when you're doing a smoky eye because you can end up looking, you know, like a raccoon underneath. And so, by using just a few key tricks, you can really tweak that and avoid any like fallout, and then it's just some tips on blending. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know I enjoyed filming it for you. And as always, I will post below any tools that I'm using, colors that I'm using, and please comment and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So I'm going to start this morning by priming my skin with the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus Spray. I love this stuff to prime my skin, to hydrate and moisturize before I get into my makeup. So I'm going to let that dry for just a second and then start right off with my Bobbi Brown Corrector. This is in the shade Porcelaine Bisque, and I'm using a Lancome number 8 concealer brush to conceal under my eyes. This Bobbi Brown concealer has been my jam since seriously 2009 when I was first introduced to it. I want to show you the difference from one eye to the other. By applying this corrector, it's going to be that pinky tone. It brightens, it highlights, it makes you look more awake, and on the other side you can still see the dark pink undertone. I absolutely love this for anyone who has dark circles or who just wants to look brighter and more refreshed. After that's done, I'm going to go in with my Sigma Flat Top Kabuki brush and Chanel Perfection Lumiere. I'm wearing the shade Beige 20. I absolutely love this foundation for times when my skin is just not behaving the way I want. It's buildable, it is a matte finish, it's great for covering up imperfections, and it just gives me a really nice, smooth finish. I highly recommend it for anyone that's having kind of some problem skin that might be a little bit oily. Once I have that on, I am going to go in with MAC Pro Longwear Concealer and the same Lancome brush and just apply that on my under eyes on top of my corrector. And I'm going to put a little on my fingertip just to prime and prepare my eyelids. I love this stuff because it does have a crease-proof technology, so it's awesome for eyeshadow, and it's the same color as my skin tone, so it just allows the color to pick up very natural. After that is done and packed on, I'm going to go in with a beauty blender and just, it's already been dampened, the water's been squeezed out. I'm going to just use it to smooth everything out and buff in my concealer. Once I've got that on today, I wanted a little more coverage, so I am going in with my Pro Dome stippling brush and my MAC Mineralize Powder. I am packing that powder on because I just needed more coverage. I felt like with this look, I wanted a very matte finish since my eyes were the attention point. This is Bobbi Brown Pale Yellow. It's a pressed powder, and I'm using a Sigma brush to apply that on my under eye. Because we're doing a smokier eye, if you put your base makeup on first, you want to get a heavier application on the under eye. In case you get any fallout, it's easier to clean up. So I always like to put a little bit more powder on my under eye area before going in with any shadow. After that, I'm going to go in with my Glow Fusion bronzer, and I'm using the NARS Ita brush to contour my cheek. That's a serious contour. I'm going to contour out both sides and just use that color. I really like this Glow Fusion. It's in the shade Medium. It is a very kind of warm brown, and it looks great when I'm on the pale side, so I like it with the Ita brush just to kind of carve out where I want the contour to happen. But after that's done, I will go in with a smaller Sigma brush, and this time I'm using that small brush to apply the corners of my nose to just give me a little bit more definition. This is the number E48. It's the pointed crease brush. You can also use this brush for eyeshadow. After that's done, I'm going to use the same Bobbi Brown bronzer brush and the same bronzer to just blend things out. I'm not putting a lot of product on the brush this time. I'm just using it to blend the contour so that way you don't have any harsh lines. Everything looks nice and airbrushed and soft. My blush is from Bobbi Brown. This is the Slopes blush, and I'm using their brush from Bobbi Brown as well. I feel like this entire tutorial is a Bobbi Brown look, but I have a lot of their products and I love them. I'm going to do the pop of color on my cheek here. This is pale pink, and the easiest way to do this is to just smile and apply it right on the apple, brushing down and back towards your hairline. For my highlight, I'm going to use a Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick. This is in the shade Rose, and I'm using a Sigma highlighting brush for that. I love these shimmer bricks. They're incredible for highlighting on the top of the cheekbone, around the eye area, and a sidebar. You can actually use these as eyeshadows as well, so it's very dual functional. I think they're beautiful, and it just looks really soft and sheen. The color Rose is good for anyone that's more of a light, fair to medium skin tone. I definitely wouldn't recommend it for a dark skin tone. It can look kind of ashy. After I'm done highlighting, I'm going to go in and just top off my brows. I made this part kind of quick because I think you get the point. I'm just using the spoolie from Anastasia Beverly Hills and the shade Taupe in the Brow Wiz to carve out and shape my brows, doing very light strokes towards the back and following the natural contour of my eyebrow hair. Brows need threaded like mad crazy. I'm going to go in with one more brow gel from Anastasia Beverly Hills and just use that to control the brows so that way they don't get all crazy stringy throughout the day. I really like this stuff. It is tinted. You can get it in clear as well, but it's good for just shaping purposes. Okay, to start my eye look off, I am using the color in the upper right corner called Taupe. I'm using that color with a MAC 224 fluffy brush to apply just in my crease. You don't have to be pretty with this. This is a transition color to make everything else blend nice and natural. So once I've got a good amount of that on to the depth that I'm comfortable, I'm going to go in with the Rockstar eyeshadow. This is the flaky eyeshadow I was talking about. I'm using a Chanel brush. This is just a basic synthetic brush that I will wet with the Fix Plus spray I used to wet my face. It's a great kind of tip to get that glittery shadow or just a loose pigment on your eyelid without any fallout. So when that brush is wet, it picks up the eyeshadow and almost makes it kind of like a gel, so it's easy to apply. I'm going to just pack that onto my lid as much as I can. I will blend this out later, but the whole point initially is to just get a good application of that Rockstar, so that way I can kind of buff out that smoky eye with deeper tones and still see my glittery, pretty focus color. Once I'm finished kind of packing that Rockstar onto my eyelid, I'm going to then go in with a Sigma Blending E25 brush and the shade Fawn. This is a shade from Bobbi Brown as well. And I'm using that brush. This is very similar to the MAC, I think, 217 brush, but it's from Sigma. And I'm going to use Fawn basically on the outer corner of my eye. Let me zoom you in. I'm going to use it on the outer corner of my eye as a blending color, and I'm also going to use this on the inner corner of my eye. So you can see I'm putting it on the inner. I want to keep the Rockstar color left alone, but I will go back and forth just right over top of the crease portion to blend out. Again, keeping that silvery color right in the center and then the deeper tones on the inner and outer corner of the eye. It just makes it look more romantic, I think, and just not as wide-eyed. If you just keep the darker color on the outer portion of the eye, it's going to make your eye look very wide. And for this look, I wanted a little bit more depth. I was going to work this day, so I didn't want to be overkill, which is why I chose these nice, softer colors of grays, so that way I didn't have this black smoky eye to go to work. I do think this look is very transitional and something that you could wear day to day. It's a great way to do a smoky eye without looking like you're going to the club. I do go in there one more time with my MAC brush. There's really no product on it, but anytime that you apply a deeper tone, I like to go back with my transition shade on a fluffy brush and just blend it out. The shade in the bottom right corner is called Naked, and this, I'm using the exact same Sigma brush. I didn't really clean it off either. I'm just using that Naked to highlight on the upper portion of my crease closer to my brow bone to create a little bit more transition. Once I've got that blended out, I'm going to go in with a MAC shadow. This is not in the Bobbi Brown palette, but I love this shadow for highlighting. It's called Faloof. I think it's Faloof. But I use it with just a basic Younique brush for an eyeshadow brush underneath of the eye to highlight and also to go right in my inner tear duct to catch the light right on the inner corner. This will allow me to blend things out with my eyeliner here a little bit later. For my under eye area, I like to go in with a NARS pencil brush, and I'm going to use the Taupe that I originally used as my contour color or my crease here. The Taupe eyeshadow is great for underneath of the eye just to create a little bit more transition, and that way my under eyeliner doesn't look so stark. So I'm going to apply that on both under eyes, just kind of buffing it in. I'm not really getting too precise. I then will go in with my Bobbi Brown Black Plum Shadow in a flat, just a basic flat brush. I'm not putting any, I'm not wetting this brush, I'm just keeping it dry, but I'm putting that a little bit closer into my lash line to darken the color. And because I've had that baseline on first, it's easier. Now I'm going to take that and actually wet the brush a bit with the Fix Plus from MAC, and that I'm going to dip into the Black Plum, same eyeshadow as before, but it turns into an awesome eyeliner, and it makes it really, really easy to get eyeliner on without looking too just stark or too heavy-handed. So I'm just going to apply that on my lash line, getting really close to my eyelashes, and I don't really have a lot of product on at this point. I'm just kind of spreading it around and going all the way into the inner corner of the eye. Once I'm happy with the eyeliner, I will go in and begin my mascara. Now, I bought this Maybelline Rocket Volume Express from the drugstore. I really like this mascara. It's great for giving a little added volume. I wanted a lot of volume and fluff to my eyelashes for this smoky eye tutorial. And so after that, I'm going to go in with my Younique 3D Fiber Lashes. I'm starting off with the first mascara, which is their basic transplanting gel, and then I will go in with the Natural Lash Fibers. These are really black, dense fibers that allow me to build volume and create length. And then I do just one more final top coat of the transplanting gel once more, so that way I don't get any fallout from those lash fibers. This is the perfect way to create volume without having to apply false lashes. If you look at the difference, on my left eye, I have the Younique 3D Fiber Lashes, and on the right eye, just one coat of the Maybelline Rocket Volume Express. So I'm going to go in and even that out and apply the exact same steps on the other eye, and then I'm going to do my bottom lashes with the MAC Gigablack. Sorry, let me flip that. Gigablack Lash, and I love this for my bottom lashes. It's a very, very small brush on the mascara, so it's great for getting in between every single little lash on the bottom. Once I'm done with my eye look, I am going to go in with another Bobbi Brown lip color. This is the Bikini Pink number 8. I love this color. It's great for more of a smoky eye look, that kind of Barbie pink on the lip. And I will top that off with a Chanel Glossimer in the shade 119. It just kind of gives it a nice warmer tone, so that way it's not as frosty. So that completes the silver smoky eye tutorial. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching this tutorial. I totally enjoyed filming it for you. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye!